Hey there, Ape Nation. How are you? This is Jim Marin, coming to you from the Great Canadian Apes. Our good friend James Marin. Actually, he's starting to feel a lot better. He's just getting back into all kinds of things. His band actually released a new single today, so he's there. He'll help me with this cut into the video a little bit. Thank you very much for your good wishes for him in his recuperation. And we hope that you and your families are getting through this crazy Omicron well, and hopefully it's behind us real soon. Today's price action, we were down 5%. It was following the morning downturn of the SPY and the NASDAQ. We'll take a look at that. Review of this week's options with the Hedgies price target, our price target for the week. Article that came out 2 days ago. The PROG is a buy as Progenity becomes a leaner company, and PROG is to present patient findings at the largest Crohn's and Colitis conference in the world, ECCO 22, over in Austria in February. Ortex and Fental short squeeze data will be coming at you, and PROG is looking very good long-term, not financial advice. So let's take a look at the press release. So yesterday we had something that touched on this, and just touch on it again. Progenity announces acceptance of 2 abstracts on treatment of GI disorders at ECCO 22. So Progenity Incorporated, a biotechnology company innovating in the field of oral biotherapeutics for GI health and beyond, today announced that 2 presentations with patient data on the indicators of efficacy in the treatment of GI disorders has been accepted by the 17th Congress of the European Crohn's and Colitis Organization from February 16th to 19th, 2022, the world's largest forum for IBD specialists. ECCO's mission is to improve the care of patients with IBD through international guidelines, education, research, and collaborations. Details of the guidance poster sessions are as follows. We have the abstract title is Tofacnib. Tissue exposure correlates with endoscopic outcome. Presenters, Dr. Verstock and Dr. Vermeer on February 18th from 12:30 to 1:30, and that's in Austrian time. The second will be the characterization of secotine and drug concentrations in serum, mucosa, and feces during induction treatment of moderate to severe ulcerative colitis with anti-TNF monoclonal antibodies, presented by Dr. Ostrom and Dr. Haynes. And that will be available on the website, and I will bring you details of that as well. So what's huge about that is the word efficacy, because what Progenity has, of course, is this drug delivery system and the ability, and that's what a lot of their patents are. It's not so much creating the drug, but it's a vehicle. It's almost like they own the railroad. And then you have all kinds of competing companies that are like the rail car. They own the railroad, let's say, and they own the cars. And so people are putting the different companies are putting in their medicine into the let's say the train cars, which is the pill that will bring it to that affected area. And so they have the patent on the vehicle, not just the medicine itself, but it's the vehicle. How do you get it from A to B? And that's what's so exciting about Progenity. When we take a look at, just to, broaden horizons a little bit, global burden of IBD. The IBD diseases is the ulcerative colitis and Crohn's disease are chronic, relapsing disorders of the GI tract. Collectively, these conditions can result in debilitating physical and psychosocial symptoms for patients and affect society through the loss of schooling, absenteeism, and healthcare costs. More than 2 million Europeans and 1.5 million North Americans have IBD, with the majority of healthcare costs driven by medication. The cause of IBD is unknown, but it is considered to be the result of an inappropriate immune response. So, Progenity is combating this, and they're on the leading edge to support this. And this is just one of the many streams of their products. PROG stock is a buy as Progenity becomes a leaner company. So this was in Investor Place on January 3rd. A growing patent portfolio should give PROG stock a boost in the long term. For folks who like to take a chance on biotech business, California headquartered Progenity offers upside potential at an affordable price point. Indeed, PROG stock's appeal is that it's cheap and could possibly double or more. Absolutely. As for the company itself, Progenity specializes in addressing high needs conditions, including those involving GI health, while also advancing the science of oral drug delivery. To be honest, 2021 wasn't an easy year for the investors. The share price peaks were high, but the drawdowns were steep. And the only consistent thing was volatility. However, that volatility can be your friend, as PROG stock is capable of making swift moves for traders with good timing. Besides, Progenity recently made some changes to its business, which could provide substantial value to faithful shareholders. I will be, and am, a faithful shareholder. PROG stock at a glance. Going back to the beginning of June 2020, Progenity priced its IPO at $15 a share. Unfortunately, PROG's shares lost 12.5% of its value on the first day of public trading. Over the year and a half, PROG stock declined, but there were sizable rallies along the way. In fact, there were three 50% or greater run-ups in 2021. I'm looking for the same in 22. In late December, PROG shares were slightly below $2. Today's traders must be realistic and not expect the stock to jump back to IPO price tomorrow or next week. Instead, a good strategy could be to accumulate shares when the price is depressed, which is exactly what I'm doing, and many others are doing, not financial advice, which it was in 2021's final trading sessions. At the same time, it's not recommended to load the boat on PROG stock. There's risk involved in low-price healthcare stocks, so caution should always be advised. Can a company actually improve by slimming down its operations? It's definitely possible, and Progenity is proving it. Without a doubt, Progenity prioritizing firming up its capital position in 2021. As evidence of this, the company reported around 44 million in warrant exercises during the fourth quarter of 2021. Furthermore, an exchange transaction in Q4 2021, Progenity reduced by 38% the principal amount of its convertible senior notes due 2025 by non-affiliates. So they're paying back 4 years early, saving all kinds of interest and taking care of debt. Progenity CFO Eric Desperbes observed his company's great strides in optimizing capital structure and bolstering its liquidity position. As a result, Desperbes assured that Progenity's liquid position will provide sufficient runway to support achievement of our critical R&D milestones for at least the next 12 months. That's great. No more dilution, and they've got enough money to go at least 12 months. Boosting the company's balance sheet even further is Progenity's recent divestiture of its affiliate, Avero Diagnostics. In fact, Bart declared that Avero divestiture resulted in a further annual operating reduction of approximately 28 million. That in turn would bring Progenity's total reduction in annual operating costs to approximately 145 million compared to the 2021 second quarter. Okay, so all kinds of great things happening with PROG. And today on the German market, it was down 3%. Previous close of 1.8 euros, opened at 1.81 euros, high of 1.88, low of 1.74, where it closed at 1.74 euros, approximately $1.96 US. And again, Progenity is presenting recent findings at the ECCO 22 conference in Vienna, Austria, February 16th to 19th, the largest gathering of the world for IBD specialists. Price action today, PROG was down 4.8% in North America in the New York Stock Exchange. Previous close was 208. It opened at 203, had a high of 209, went immediately up, then came immediately back down, low of 191. Closed at 198, volume of 8 million. And let's just take a look at the SPY, etc. Because it followed it, like, when you take a look at the first half, that's the first half to 11:30. Let's go 11:30 here. So goes up, goes up, goes up, goes up, goes down, goes down, goes down, goes down. So this down and then up and then over. So this is the SPY versus PROG. The exact, it's mirroring SPY. SPY did not have a good morning, and it really showed with PROG for sure. Taking a look at the Dow, it was the exact same thing. Out of the gate, the Dow was doing fine up until maybe 10 minutes into the session, and then straight down. Same thing with PROG, straight down. So PROG is definitely following both the NASDAQ and the SPY. To take a look at the daily, we've got there was, as we started up the day, resistance at the high of 209, and then as it came back down, it just went straight back to the $1.91, where there was support earlier. And we've seen support from that 191 in the past, and provided support here again. As we saw with the SPY and the NASDAQ, things did turn around, and then PROG turned around at exactly that same time. Taking a look at and around the 11:30 mark, then we see that we had a on the minute chart, golden cross from the 50-day crossing from beneath to overtop the 200-day moving average, and we saw that the stock acted positively after that, but then as it was coming back down, we had this death cross, and for the rest of the day it went in between the channel rate of 198 to 201, which of course is right where their price point pinning the hedgies at just under the $2 level is their max gain for the options. So today's level of support was at $1.91, 198, level of resistance at 209 and 201. Past levels of resistance have been at 213 and 225, so watch for that on the upside. On the downside, we've got levels on the downside support at $2, $1.91 and 179. Not financial advice. Taking a look at the options expiring January 7th. This is updated as of 4 p.m. today. Only 1% in the money as we closed at $1.99 today. And so 99% out of the money calls. So 2.1 million calls are currently out of the money. And sorry, this should say $1.99. And then for under $2, there's only 24,600 in the money. When we talk about the puts, then there's 6% puts out of the money and 94% in the money. The hedgies will have a lot to gain if the closing price this week is less than $2, with 574,000 calls at $2 and 214,000 puts at $2. They continue to short the stock to try to have the price close under $2. Now, we won this battle last week, and it'll be another close one for $2 this week. It was right there all day long. Nothing further back from Ortex, other than what we reported yesterday, which was, yes, Ethereum did increase their position from 38 million to 67 million shares, and that total could exactly equal the 22 million shares on November 23rd that would have been sold at 397, which is a great price point as they increase their overall earnings or investment from 300 million to 400 million. Taking a look at the shorts, we've got short interest change went down by 3.68% today. Borrowed shares, 624,000 went into the market to be borrowed on Tuesday, this being Thursday today, and with returned shares being 1.5 million. The utilization is relatively quite low, at only 85%. So there's all kinds of shares available. That's down 9% from last week. So no short squeeze happening there because there's all kinds of shares to be shorted. Cost to borrow is at 23.82%. So that's quite low. Days to cover is extremely low still at 0.33, and that provides the opportunity for the hedgies, market manipulators, market makers to be able to control the price. Shares on loan, 24.07 million, which is down 20% from 7 days ago. And still we see that there's 12 million discrepancies between the number of shares loaned and the number of shares shorted. So for whatever reason, there's still 12 million shares, almost 10%, actually 12% of the float, of the free float, that have been borrowed but never shorted. So that's kind of weird. Percent of free float on loan is down 20% to its current 22.95, and the estimated short interest, the free float, 12.68. Taking a look at Fintel, 15.5 million shares is the reported short interest there. The short interest ratio is going up slightly there at 1.15. Short interest percent of the float, 15%. Dark pool short volume, 2.1 million. And the dark pool short volume ratio is 48.81%. For a $2 biofarm company, 50% is going through the dark pool. So again, this is why I'm still in this play, because it just seems crazy. All kind, 1.8 million available at 17%, so it's cheap and relatively cheap, and it's available to be shorted, and so they can at will. The failure to delivers keep on coming in. They don't seem to care to resolve them, and they're not on the threshold list though, and they just every so often clean them up, and then all of a sudden it's starting with a clean slate again, and then they get their room messy, and then they tell you to get up every so often, and they go on. Still nothing's been reported since November 16th from any funds disclosing short positions. That must be the entire everybody doing that. So why is there 50% dark pool volume on a $2 biopharma company? I don't know, but I think once we get the catalyst, they're going to be caught, and I'm going to love it. Today's price action, we were down 5%. In after hours, we ended up just over the $2 level. It just finished now, and the morning followed the SPY and the NASDAQ. The review of this week's options and hedgies give us that the price target for the hedgies is just under $2. And we saw that last week, and we won that battle last week, and we'll see if we win it again. Our price target for the week is going to be a little bit below $2 or a little bit above, anywhere from $1.90 to $2.25. We believe that the next big up is going to happen after the January 18th announcement of the next major patent. PROG is a buy as progenity becomes a leaner company. That article came out through Investor Place. PROG is going to be presenting patient findings at the largest Crohn's and Colitis conference in the world. And PROG's looking really good long term. I'm still loving it, and have a great day. Love you guys, and let's go PROG. Let's go.